Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives you?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. We're here for episode number 42. My name is Christian Dragonetti. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Australian PGA professional, and very ugly bloke. Oh. I ran out of things to say. I had to get personal.
You ran out of nice things. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Joel Mitchell, mate. How you doing?
I've actually kind of got a little bit of the shits.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I was out practicing the Savo and the flies are fucked. Drove me mental. That's it. That's all I had.
We have experienced
That's how I'm
arguably
feeling.
the most tropical weather I've ever experienced in my life in the last 4 days.
Dude,
And I'm fucking over it.
the amount of shots I had to pull off of today and just started, I must have looked like a crazy person from the other fairway going, standing there by myself in the middle of the fairway going, fuck off, like this, with my hands waving in the air, go, fuck off, leave me alone, fuck off. Thinking there's
Chasing away all the demons.
Yeah, thinking there's spirits or something floating around me. Because I would have looked like an idiot. And then at one point I took my hat off and fucking like this, just losing my shit.
So,
mate,
we'll get into recent rounds in a minute.
Fucking crazy.
But so
Drove me
I
nuts.
recently, about 3 months ago, purchased your old stand bag.
Yeah, my
Titleist
old-
stand
my
bag. I
stand bag,
grabbed it
yeah,
off you
yeah.
because
The premium one, it was a bit more structured and stuff. Yeah.
it's my dream golf bag.
Yeah.
We've had one in the pro shop at Berg for ages, and I've been eyeing it off. And in that, when you gave it to me, you left a little spray can of Bushman's bug spray.
And you know what? I was when I gave you that bag, there was a week later that I'm looking through my links ledger and going, fuck, it's got me fucked where I put that.
And then a couple weeks after, I show you, I'm like, oh, look what you left. And you're like, oh, give it back. I'm like, nah.
Nah, I came with the bag. Fuck.
And so it was obviously very muggy and humid over the weekend. We'll get into recent rounds in a sec. But I've whacked that out and just gone absolutely hard on that
mental.
bug spray.
Yeah.
Did nothing.
Nah, they just eat the stuff now. You need to put terps on or something.
One of the blokes I was playing with, was in a cart, and he just gets out of the cart and just goes, I must stink of shit.
Yeah.
He goes, they're just loving me today.
Oh, mate.
He's like, it's like I haven't showered in 4 weeks.
That's what I mean. It's they must attract different sort of people. It's like mosquito people. I'm not a
Yeah.
mosquito person.
I am.
So they don't like me at all. So
I
I'm
am.
fucking mint. So if I never use mosquito spray. I never have to. Even if it's a tropical night and it's warm middle of summer.
horrible.
They don't touch me.
And
It's
again, the weekend was the worst time for that as well. We had an event on Saturday night, me and my fiance. We get home and all of a sudden, just her legs, and she wore a summer dress, and her legs are just covered in mozzie bites.
I'm the exact opposite. Whereas flies, so you know Matt Steno.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mozzies love him apparently, but the flies don't go near him. Whereas the flies are just on me. It must be something because I was sweating a little bit today. It must have been the salt in the sweat or something like that.
It's got to be something.
Or maybe even the sunscreen that you have on.
It's
whatever it was. And it was all around the eyes. I don't care if they're on me. I don't care if they're on me. It's just not when I'm fucking not going like this when I'm trying to hit a fucking pitch and wedge. Right? It just, oh my God, it drove me batshit crazy.
I can imagine.
To the point where I'm standing over going, blowing on my own face. I'm standing over a drive going, like this, just looking like a fucking idiot. Anyway, that's a nerd.
If you're listening on Spotify, I do recommend going and listening to the first 5 minutes on this podcast on YouTube.
You just gotta look at YouTube because I look like a fucking idiot right now because I'm standing in the middle of the fairway on the 12th fairway at Heritage. What? Oh, that actually leads me into. We'll go into
Recent rounds, go for it.
We'll go into recent rounds.
Go for it.
My most recent round was yesterday, full
Yeah,
round
so
of
you just
golf.
went for a hit today then.
Yeah, we played the first 9 holes, me and Steno. And then we played this little scramble best ball thing on the back 9 just to,
Bum around.
bit of practice and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Yesterday played Patterson River, just in a PJ match. And
Well, a Monday match.
yeah.
You haven't had one of those for a long time.
No, it's one of the last ones of the year.
Yeah, right.
So
But you still haven't been in one of those for a long time.
Nah, ages.
Yeah.
No, I didn't play Monday matches this year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's just not wasted time for me, but I had
It's just there's no reason.
I didn't have any motivation to go play fucking, Berwick Montuna on a Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
fair enough.
didn't really feel like I'll go play Bacchus Marsh or something. Fuck that. Anyway,
No, fair.
So, and usually in past couple of years, it's been an absolute farm.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
horrendous. Horrible weather, and the golf course didn't live up to thing any better. Right. So I didn't have high hopes going into it and like the layout's all right. It's not bad, not actually a bad golf course, but it's the weather. The weather has never treated as well. It's always been blowing its head off, pissing sideways. And the golf course is like the last 2 out of 3 times the greens have been caught. Like it's just like we're playing on absolute farm, so I didn't really have much hopes going into it. Anyway, we get there, it's green as anything, and green's rolling mint. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
mint,
right.
like beautiful. And it was a bit hazy and a bit weird weather and stuff like that, but otherwise they had it pretty good this year. So happy days. I hit the ball pretty solid, putted okay. I made 2 bogeys on par 5s. I was over par on the par 5s yesterday.
Yeah, that's like your cardinal
is
sin.
Bad. That's like
Rule number 1,
That's-
don't
that's-
make bogeys on par 5s.
dude, it's like that is my number 1 don't do list. Next is murder. Like don't. So I would have been better off murdering someone yesterday, and then I would have been feeling a bit better. But I had 2 under par, and yeah, honestly, it was nothing flash
Nothing
at all.
huge.
Nothing flash. I went out there. I was very carefree, playing with a couple of mates. I was fortunate enough to get paired with, so we had a little money match going.
Yeah, good.
Oh man. Actually, I'll tell you a story about yesterday.
Go on.
We started on 18,
Yeah.
right, par 5. And anyway, so it was myself and Reese, his name was, one of my mates. He's and versus Will, works for Link's Legacy.
Oh, yeah,
Played
yeah,
with him
yeah.
yesterday
Yeah,
as well.
cool.
And then Lockie Robinson is from Huntingdale, right? So I know all of them very well.
Yep.
I know them for a while now. So it was Lockie and Will versus me and Reese, right? We just threw the balls up, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, me and Reese, we're like 2 up through 3. Started
Cool.
hot. I birdied 2 and 3, or birdied our second and third hole. We started on 18. I birdied 1 and 2, right? Get it to 2 under through 3. We're 2 up. I'm like, beautiful. This is gonna be good because Lockie like doubled 1, Will bogey 2.
Yeah.
Like we're flying, right? Anyway, Lockie starts doing some Lockie things. He's very streaky. He'll make 1 birdie, he'll make another 4 in the next 5 holes. If he makes 1 bogey, he'll bogey the next 4 out of 5 holes. Like it's really sort of weird like that. So he started off very slow, a couple bogeys, 3 putt, a double in there somewhere, and then makes that 1 birdie and then birdies the next 3 in a row. It's like-
jeez.
and just
Right,
claws it back. So we were 2 up through 3 and then we'll 2 down through 13 or something like that.
Right, okay.
Right. Anyway, we win 14. They win 15. We win 16, 17. All square going down the last.
Wow.
Which is our 17th hole. So like 17th hole, our last hole. Anyway, we've all hit a pretty reasonably good drive down there, and we have less than 60 in, all 4 of us. Oh, except for Will. Will hit it sort of right trees, and he hit a great shot on the green, sort of front right of the green. I hit first and just pull it, right? It was just a bad wedge shot from 70 meters. I pulled it sort of longish left of the hole. It was I had like 25, 30 feet. Wasn't a good shot. Reese hit his to 10 feet, just over 10 feet short left of the hole, right? Dead straight putt up the hill. Perfect spot.
Right.
And Lockie hits his to about 10 foot high side of the hole, high right, sort of slippery one down the hill. Anyway, I've hit mine, and I said it out loud. I said, if anything's going to drop today, it's going to be this one.
Right.
This was to basically either win or half the match.
Right.
Half the match at worst if
Right.
it went in. Right. Anyway, I've hit this putt and the seconds left to stick. I'm like, this is not missing. It was perfect. It was up the hill, sort of like sort of steering right a little bit. Starts breaking towards the hole. I start walking. Right. Sort of loses speed, breaks right, misses, lips low side and sits this far behind the hole. I've dropped putt, I've dropped hat, Reese has hit the floor. We're devastated. Devastated, right? Because that would have been unreal.
Yeah.
Will misses his. Reese has his birdie putt.
Yeah.
Now this is to, once again, either win or half.
Yeah.
Leaves it this far short. Right? And I've never seen him, he was walking down the 18th fairway going, these last 3 years has been a waste of time up until this point. He goes, I don't like, this sucks. Like he was devastated, right? As he walks off, as he's like walking away from his putt after tapping him for 4, he walks away and across the little river, about 150 meters away, is like a row of houses, like lining the golf course. And you hear this like 6-year-old yell out from the fence, "Hi!" Go like this, and Reese turns around and goes, "Fuck off!" Right? right? He just loses it, right? And I've hit the deck as well because that's the last thing. That's the last thing that is the last thing I expected him to say. Just don't fuck off to like this 6-year-old, right? Anyway, so Lockie's standing over his putt laughing,
Yeah.
right? And then hits the putt and drains it to win, right? And we're like fucking devastated. And like we're walking up 18 and Reese goes, "Where's that fucking 6-year-old? I'm gonna fucking..." Right? He's just headless. So anyway, so yeah, couple under. Winner had 4, which was out there. The course was playing like pretty good. So,
Yeah, nice.
yeah, not too bad. The sort of ball striking, yeah, it's getting there. It's getting
Very good. Very good.
there. Anyway, and you? And you?
Yes, I had the last couple of rounds of club champs at Heidelberg. I said in the preamble to club champs a few weeks ago, if you'd listened, that my goal for the tournament was to be there on the last day. Right?
Yeah.
It was, as far as I knew, then the top 12 and ties got in to the final day.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the case. Like, I definitely heard that it was. But I rock up on Saturday and I'm sitting like 18th, right? So middle of the pack or top half of the pack. And I'm thinking, all right, sweet. This is looking all right. Let's go out and have a crack. I think we discussed it last week. I was 6 shots off 12.
Yeah.
And that was, shoot your handicap and let's go. You'll get in, right?
Yeah.
I get there and the golf manager or whatever, general manager, Lindsay, turns around and goes, "Oh, yeah, top 24 and ties get in."
Oh,
And I'm thinking,
they changed it.
fuck. Because I'd had a look at the forecast for the weekend and seen that it was going to be piss and rain all day, right? And it was going to be hot and stinking and gross. And I'm thinking, maybe if I have 110 today, that's not the worst thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe if I miss out, I won't be too disappointed.
Because I was like, all right, yeah, it'd be nice to be there on the final day thinking it was going to be nice and sunny and hot and beautiful. But no, it was miserable and gross. Anyway, I had 84 on Saturday.
Yeah.
And it was much like the whole tournament we had. Now, you and I actually went out last Thursday and played at Heidelberg.
Yeah.
And the round I played with you is very similar to how Saturday went.
Just wasn't it.
Just wasn't it.
Yeah.
Driver went fucking, I don't know where, but somewhere. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't in your
I
bag.
threw it somewhere in a tree.
Wasn't in your bag.
Wasn't there.
Yeah, no.
May as well have had a hockey
Left
stick.
it at home.
Absolutely. Like I said, might as well have had a hockey stick. But in the range session before, like having a warm up, found this little feeling with my irons and my wedges. And it was simple as, like, I've spoken to SGM about it and he goes, "What'd you do?" And I said, all I wanted to do was forget everything you and I had worked on. That was going to come naturally. I wanted to just return the leading edge back to where it rested before I took it away from the ball. Right? So when you place your club down behind the ball before a shot, all I wanted to do was just deliver it straight back to that spot.
So just deliver it square.
Just deliver it square. Right?
That's the point, isn't it?
100%. But just focusing on that one fine detail
Yeah.
was enough. That's all I needed. I didn't need 1,000
It just
swing thoughts.
eliminated every other
It just
swing thought.
eliminated every other swing thought about, putting it in the right position in the takeaway, coming through on the right path. It was all about all that stuff we'd worked on that had clouded my mind for the last 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Gone.
Well, because you're probably thinking about it right and doing it. Now you're doing it. You don't have to think about it.
Correct. Right? And you
Yeah.
make perfect sense,
Yeah, yeah.
right? It does make sense. Like
Yeah.
it should be second nature now.
Yeah.
And it kind of was.
Yeah.
And Joel, when I say I fucking middled everything,
Yeah.
I middled everything.
Yeah, good.
It's just a shame.
Was it going straighter?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
100%.
So
Like,
you've got that path back, sort of.
yeah, correct.
sort of.
It probably needs a little bit more fine tuning.
That's just a range session.
Yeah, that's a range session. Or,
range
when we go and have a hit one night this week or whatever it might be.
Might do Thursday. Jesus.
Thursday night, I think we're almost definitely locked in.
I'm locked in. I'm going to be there anyway.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So I think it'll come, right? But then leading into Sunday, so I had 84 on Saturday, meh, right? Nothing dropped. Holy moly. For like the last 5 rounds of golf I've played, 4 rounds of clubbies and 1 round with you last Thursday, I haven't made a putt outside 6 feet.
Actually, we'll bring up last Thursday. Last Thursday you didn't. So you've always been good with your like 4 to 6 footers. You've always been really solid with that. I've found like you've always been able to roll out on a good line at good speed. You very rarely, but it's like I've said this before and I'll say it again. You get your starting lines are really good. They always have. The ball always rolls end over end. It really does. It's just speed. Like your 20 footers. like if you have a good putting day, they're
Really
going
good.
they're either going in,
Yeah.
or they're going a foot past it.
Yeah.
But on your bad putting day, they're 4 feet either side of the hole. You
Yeah,
either
correct.
munch it or you yip it.
And
that's what I found on Thursday. It was like there was a couple of them like where you hit the putt. I'm like, fuck, he's hit that 10 feet from 30 feet. Like you've got it halfway, or you'd munch one. I'm like, holy fuck, sit down. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
It was like a weird.
And I think that like we've spoken about the stigma that Clubbies has. And at my golf club at Heidelberg, the stigma is that Clubbies comes around, greens are quick,
Yeah,
right? So speed control is ever so more so important.
yeah, he's essential.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's essential. I found that, and reflecting back on all 4 rounds in the champs, I was giving putts either too much respect or not enough. There was not that middle of just like, this is the speed that I need to hit it at. This is the line I need to hit it at. Do it. It was like, there was always an air of doubt about every putt.
Yeah,
What if it's quicker? What if it's slower? What if it breaks more? What if it doesn't break enough?
Yeah.
There's every fucking putt I had that wasn't a one-handed tap in from an inch.
Yeah,
Right?
was always what's it gonna do?
What's it going to do?
Yeah, it's
And to say that I had those thoughts in my mind, but still thought I putted pretty well,
yeah.
is baffling to me. 'Cause
Yeah,
I actually
that's a
did.
weird
I
one.
thought I putted reasonably well for the tournament.
Considering
it's just
how you felt.
correct. And considering that, none of those 4 to 10 footers dropped.
Yeah, nothing.
I made one.
Yeah,
Made one. I made up and down on 17 on the Sunday, which was actually the 8th hole because we teed off on 10.
yeah.
Hit a nice bunker shot out, left myself 12 foot and just jammed it.
Yeah, rolled it.
Just hit it hard at the back of the hole. It was the straightest putt I had for the 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And I'm not even joking when I tell you, if that hole didn't get in the way, it was halfway up the hill to the tee box. Like, it was hard.
Yeah, it was mad.
It was hit hard.
almost jumped up in the air.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah, right.
It was one of those weeks, and I was just like, and yes, I achieved my goal of getting into the final stage, which I'll get to in a second.
Yeah.
But I left so much out there.
Yeah, everyone does. It's always the way. It's like, you know what I noticed? The biggest thing about, especially Thursday, because we hadn't really played an 18-hole round in a
while, just the two of us.
In a while, just us two. Right, we used to do it all the time, but where we actually played a comp round, sort of put the head down a little bit, and sort of concentrated a little bit. So, like, what do I have? Like 4 under? I had like 34 points. Or
Yeah, you had something like that. No,
Yeah,
I had 31.
Yeah, something.
So I would have
like
had like 10 or 11 over.
Yeah, so like I had me moments where there was some good stuff. Fuck, I don't even remember the holes are really birdied or anything like that. Birdied like 2, 4, and 5, and a few others. Threw a bogey in there somewhere. Like, I don't know. Anyway, but all I really said to you was like, I noticed you didn't really have like a game plan going into each shot. You sort of just go, 141. Oh, yeah, I'll hit 8 iron. But like, where, how? Like, where do you want to hit it? And you just sort of just went up and hit it.
Yeah.
Like, I sort of might say, you just need a game plan. Just think about the shot.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't really anything wrong, I noticed, with the swing. Like,
No.
Figured like what we were working on. If you got a little bit lazy, it went back to an old habit. That's everything. That's same as me. I do that all the time as well. But yeah, it's just a little game plan going into it with an intention.
Absolutely.
You know
And and I like after Thursday, I tried to do that a lot on Saturday, Sunday. Sunday was incredibly hard to do so because the mindset I was in leading into the round.
Yeah.
I'll get into it now. So Sunday obviously was a miserable day for weather.
Yeah, it was shocking.
I was scheduled to tee off at 11:30 or 11:38, whatever it was. So I'm thinking, beautiful. I was sleeping. Me and the missus can go to our food shop for the week, go have breakfast, all that kind of. We did all that. It was great. I'm driving into the golf club and I'm actually thinking, fuck, I'm a little bit late here. Like for my normal
Was it like
routine.
10 past or something?
Right. I got 10 past. I had like half an hour.
Yeah, at most.
At most to do everything I wanted to do. I'm like, all right, it's a bit rushed, but I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Did my warm up, went and hit a few putts, start walking to the tee box. And again, general manager standing there going, right now, and keep in mind, I'm teeing off at 11:38. All right. And so that's roughly around what time it was.
Yeah.
General manager's got his clipboard and he goes, all right, now the 10:45 group is, and I'm thinking, what? It's exactly my thing. I'm like, what the fuck? 10:45, we're 45 minutes behind already. And he goes, nah, we had a rain delay because some of the greens flooded from the rain. So they had to suspend
in
play.
the morning.
Yep. They had to suspend play, call people off the golf course, go out, fix what was flooded, and then send people back out.
Jesus.
Shout out to Matt Bainey, who won C grade, right? He was on 15. He was on the 14th green when they called him off.
Oh,
Right? So he teed off on 10, played the
That's
first
the
5 holes.
last place you want
It
to
is
be.
the back corner of the fucking golf course.
That's the
So
last
he's had
place
to
you wanna be.
walk from 15 tee box to the clubhouse and then 40 minutes later go back.
oh, I would have sat there.
I would have just been like, I want a courtesy cart. Send me out there.
Yeah. 100%.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, I
100%.
felt for him. And he, clutched up and got the dub, which was awesome.
Good stuff.
Right? And his brother Anthony won B grade as well. So
Oh.
yeah. So it was a really good weekend
Good
for
family.
those boys. Yeah, absolutely.
Good family.
So shout out to those boys. But yeah, I'm thinking, fuck, it's
Jesus.
11:30 and the 10:45 groups are going out.
Fuck, that's a 1 o'clock start for you.
It was.
Oh, it was, right.
It was.
Jesus.
Right? So I'm standing under the shade sail just looking like this, just like, yep.
Counting how many
cool.
bugs were on the...
And I'm looking, and shout out again, Gavin Duncan, who used to be the captain at Heidelberg, a fantastic bloke, right? Ripper, also in A grade, multiple time club champ.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him going, we're not in the hunt, are we? He's like, nah. I'm like, should we just pull it? He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just hoping that it rains more so that we just get called off for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
It was that sort of mood. So going into my round, already,
You had doubts already.
it was just being like, why am I here? Like I'm sitting 18th out of a possible 24. Like I'm not gonna win it.
Yeah.
I'm not even close. Not even close on the net.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Like, I
Not when
made
it's
the
like
cut and
this.
I achieved my goal. And I don't
Yeah.
want to be here like this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's raining. I'm hot as
Yeah.
well because it was humid as all shit. I got my waterproof jacket on because it's wet and I'm stinking, like I'm sticky and gross. I'm just like, anyway.
No way.
Finished out the round. I had 87
Yeah. That's
on the last
That's
day.
a lot of shots.
And I gave it up on the 11th hole. I'm like, that's it. Fuck it.
yeah, fuck it. Just get through the round, finish it now, and then move on.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, a really disappointing end to what I thought was a pretty reasonable showing
Yeah.
for me in terms of where I wanted my goal, like where my goal was and how I actually hit the ball and approach a tournament.
Yeah.
The overall tournament itself, kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, well, it wasn't because you weren't in the hunt.
No,
in
not
general.
personally, like as a whole. Like from the outside looking in, it was very underwhelming. Like
You expect it to be.
I expected bigger crowds to watch the A graders. I expected a bit more hype around it. It was just kind of like you said.
I reckon the weather plays a part in that.
Agreed.
For one.
You mentioned to me on the phone a little while ago that because Rosanna have started allowing players to book in their own rounds and their own tee times, that it kind of feels just like a normal Saturday comp
Yeah.
with a bit of extra money on the line.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it felt like, even though it was seeded and we got given our tee times and it was important and all that kind of shit. It just felt like a couple of Saturday Sunday comps.
Sometimes when it's overdone, like we have
And to be honest, that's not a slight on the golf club or anything they did. They did what they needed to do to get
Probably
the
did
most
what they
players
normally
out there.
do.
Yeah, well, no, we changed a lot this year to make it work.
oh, of course.
So they did what they needed to do in terms of getting players out there in the right fashion, the right conditions, and all that kind of stuff. The course was pure, and I can't shit talk about that, but like it just kind of was just like, okay, that was Clubbies this year, really?
Yeah. Massive part of it was weather.
Yeah, big
massive
time.
part of it. Had to have been.
Because we had two identical weekends.
Yeah.
Saturday was stinking hot. Sunday was pissy and hot as well.
Yeah, hot as well. Who won?
Dave Mullinger.
Oh, good on him.
So I've got the scores up here. Dave Mullinger won A grade. He was 3 shots back going into the final round.
That's nothing.
Yeah, I
That
understand
changes
that.
in one hole.
Fair enough. But when you're talking about like these are really solid pennant players that are in the top 3 or 4 of the leaderboard, right? He came back and he won by a shot. And unfortunately, I think Mark Stewart had a bit of a back injury going into the second week, so no good. Anth Bainey won the B grade, like I said, and then Matt Bainey won the C grade. I'm not too sure who won D, but anyway. Congratulations to all the winners. Rosanna recently finished theirs as well.
We had ours. We mentioned, was it last week?
Yep, probably.
Last week that Greg Russell was leading.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I think the third round, Jimmy Bannon shot even.
Yep.
And snagged the lead back off him.
Yep.
And then had 2 under in the final round, and no one was going to get near him with that. So look, I said this in our first ep leading into Clubbies. I said if Gregor didn't win it, which he'll be listening right now.
Yep.
If Gregor didn't win it, I wanted Bannon to win for his 10th. I think it was his 10th.
Yeah, 10.
So yeah, congrats to Bannon. He's like I said, I was really hoping Greg would hold on. But
I think we all were after he breaks the course record on the first
after
day.
posting course records and doing what he did, it's unbelievable. But yeah, like, and once again, unfavorable weather.
Yeah, correct.
Wet, hot, weird, tropical stuff we're not used to, really.
Absolutely.
We're used to drier stuff, and so yeah. Well, congrats to Bannon for one, and then Charlotte as well. She won the women's club champs.
cool.
She's
Yeah.
that's like her fifth or something like that, or
Yeah,
fourth
right.
at the age of 17.
Yeah,
or
nice.
or 16, I think she is, and that's her fourth.
Yeah, very
So,
good.
yeah, she's getting it done on that end as well. But yeah, Clubbies was run a bit different. We had obviously A and B grade on Saturday, and then C women and junior on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's just like free up spots. It's just to clear out everyone. It's just less congestion. That's all it was.
Yeah.
So it was still seeded ish, but like the A and B, you can literally tee up, like,
You're
go
booking whenever you want.
And then the third and fourth round after the cut, well, not really a cut, but top however many in each
correct.
grade. I think it's top 12 in each grade or something like that.
That was seeded.
That's seeded. So that's usually in the afternoon on the Sunday.
Yeah.
However, this year it was done differently because it was going to be hot and miserable and stuff like that. It was done in the morning, get out of the heat a bit quicker. Yeah, it was raining. But I don't think they called it off because, Royal Rosanna somehow have the Rosanna bubble. We have a Rosanna bubble where it mustn't have got as wet. I don't know how.
There's a fucking force field around your golf club.
It's bizarre. Like, you would have copped it at Berg. We wouldn't have got half that. Whereas if we cop it at Rosanna, you go, nah, bone dry up here. We're like, what the fuck?
Now, you've told me stories, and again, this is not a slight on anyone in particular, but you've told me stories where you've received phone calls whilst in the pro shop from my golf club, which is literally a kilometre away.
Barely.
Right?
Yeah.
And the guys in my pro shop have rung you going, what are you guys doing? Like, have you got weather? Like, have you called it? Like, you just want to make sure that you're doing the right thing by
because
your
we
golfers,
have to.
because other golfers, other golf clubs,
Correct.
especially neighbouring ones,
I get
are doing
a
the
lot.
right thing as well.
I've gotten a lot of phone calls. It's always around lightning.
Yes.
It's always around when there's a storm coming, and we get a call. Yo, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
I said, well, there's lightning within 5Ks. Everyone's off the golf course already. And like I said, like you said, not a slight on any other golf club, but they generally still have golfers out there. And we're like, well, we've called them in 10 minutes ago. There's lightning 5Ks away.
Yeah.
Or 10Ks away or something like that.
Needs
Just
to happen.
Get them off.
Yeah.
Like, don't take any chances. And then sure enough, 10 minutes later, fucking hoses, lightning and shit. Anyway. But yeah,
like-
there's often I say to them, guys, like, what have you got up there?
Yeah.
They go, oh, it's kind of calm up here. I said, mate, it is fucking hosing here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm just about to say. Like,
or the opposite.
There's no point in you guys trying to talk to each other because, yes, you're a kilometre away from each other.
Yeah.
The closest point is from the back corner of 15 at Heidelberg to like the bottom of 1. They're the closest 2 points of the golf course, right?
Yeah.
And no joke, it's a par 5 away. Like, if you played it as the crow flies, it's probably a par 5.
probably.
A par 5 and a par 4 at most.
Yeah.
Right?
It would be 600 meters.
It's nothing, right? And yet, it's almost, they might as well be in different states.
Mate, it is some of the most bizarre shit because there's times like, for example, you said on Sunday, yeah, we got rain at Rosanna. We definitely did, but it wasn't enough to all right, everyone off the golf course. I don't think. I wasn't there on the day, nor did I hear about any delays.
Yeah, but and again, we had, I don't know
Bizarre.
however many greens flooded, but a couple of
Bizarre.
greens definitely flooded.
Bizarre. It is just so strange, but
shout out and congratulations to all the winners.
Yes.
Across all the grades.
Absolutely.
And even at other golf courses. I saw Mount Derrimut had their clubbies as well over the weekend, had some winners over
there were
there.
some good scores there too.
Absolutely. So
But I just want to branch on. I don't want to claim that I'm right when I am. That I said that whoever beats 10 over wins by 10, and I saw it literally firsthand at Rosanna.
Yep.
Like I think Jimmy was 6 over,
Yep.
or something like that for the event, 5 or 6 over, and won by 12.
Yeah, well there you go.
Like like I said, unfortunately for it might have been a touch less actually, but unfortunately for Greg, the last 2 rounds were unfavorable for him.
Dave Mullinger shot 10 over for Heidelberg
And won.
and won
by
by a shot.
By a shot, but still, whoever gets he got to 10.
Yep.
But yeah, whoever beats 10 over wins.
Yep.
And they're A-grade players, like top A-grade players
Yep.
for their golf club playing off scratch or 1.
Dave plays off 3. Yeah, the top 5 players all play off.
Oh,
under.
Dave plays off 3. That's a great. That's a
blown
great
out.
4 rounds.
He's blown out.
It's a great 4 rounds. But either way, yeah, that's sort of
That's
just
just
how.
how it's just yeah.
And that
just because they're scratch golfers doesn't mean that they're
But it's also
going to shoot under par.
It's also
in
on a
these
harder
4.
golf course.
Yeah.
It's also on a harder golf course that they usually see. Now, this actually goes straight into my topic that I wanted to bring up.
You did
That I
mention you
said-
had a topic.
That I said this earlier.
Before you do, a good friend of ours, Goosey Turner.
Yeah.
I think his old man won D grade.
Hey, there we go.
Steve. So congratulations to him. Anyway,
stuff.
your topic.
So, myself and a mate were out at Heritage today.
Yes.
And we're going down the 10th hole. And there's like a ferry cart, like a big sort of 8 to 10 person seater thing that drives past. And that's usually the ferry people out to Henley. Anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Michael Dean, the head pro at Heritage, was driving it, and they had about 5 or 6 other people there, obviously in very well dressed, very, very well dressed, attired, a couple clipboards and stuff. Ooh, okay, so we're thinking straight away, Aussie tour, because they're getting ready for the classic and having a look at the golf course, seeing if it's ready enough.
Yep.
To be able to sort of start preparing.
Yep.
That's sort of what I reckon. That's what me and Steno went. That's got to be tour people. Has to be, right? We were half right.
Okay.
Turns out it was some DP World Tour people.
Oh, wow.
So we asked Michael afterwards, we're like,
What's all that about?
Who are they? Like, because I saw DP on the thing, so I got started getting butterflies.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, oh my God, this would be sick. This would be unreal to have like such a caliber of event here.
A DP World Tour sanctioned event at
It'd
Heritage.
be unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Right? So we sort of discussed, me and Stan asked, what do you reckon they would, like if those sort of
Is this
caliber
sort of like,
players.
hang on, just before
Yeah.
you go, is this like unknown information that we are we allowed to share this? Whatever you're about to say?
I don't care.
Cool. Go for it.
Like, we were sitting in the clubhouse and Michael was just explaining what these people were coming out for.
Okay, fair enough. So there's no secrecy here.
But we
Let's go.
we have no idea what they came out for.
Cool.
But Michael would express to us what they were discussing.
Yeah, nice.
So it's no secrecy. There's no
cool,
no event planned.
Just
or
wanted to
anything
make
like
sure
that.
we're not getting anybody in trouble.
No.
All right.
So me and Stan were like trying to discuss between ourselves, going, oh, I wonder what they would shoot out here. You know, if you got your Rorys and Peter Warrings and, you know, Alex Norrens and
Yeah.
Tommy Fleetwood's out here, what would they shoot around this golf course? And I said to him, mate, it's too easy at the moment. It's too wide. You know, it's too gettable at the moment. In winter, it's a tougher golf course because it's all carry, it's softer, it doesn't run out as hard, and, you know, rough is thicker, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit slower. Especially, and off the black, yeah, it's a long golf course. Considered a longer golf course compared to other places, but it's still it's a putting competition for a lot of them because they all hit it a mile, right?
Yeah.
So, and even for myself and Matt, it's a difficult golf course and can play long, but if you're hitting it good, it's not impossible.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
I've not played it during the summer,
Yeah.
which I really want to do.
Yeah. Give it probably another 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because the greens are very fluffy because they've let them grow out a little bit because of the heat and then the wet as well. So Michael said, give it another 2 to 3 weeks and it's going to be fucking. So
All right. After Christmas, we'll do it.
Yeah, around there. Anyway, and so we even said for ourselves, like even the Heritage Classic earlier in this year, like 24 under par won it in the most unbelievable condition you could ever find it. It was dead still, warm, firm and fast, you know, and it's pretty wide. Like, so of course they're going to shoot those sort of scores, right? And I've had 23 under in 4 rounds for myself in 1 week playing there as well in those sort of conditions. And yeah, I played very, very well, which I was very, very happy with. But yeah, they did it sort of like if it was just a normal week sort of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, to sum up, I asked Michael, what did they think of the place? And they said, yeah, fantastic facility, amazing, but it's too wide, too short.
Too short.
Yeah, and I'm like, too short off the black. And I said, yeah, and it's not like a mile. It's not miles long. Like you're not getting 490 yard par fours.
No,
you're not getting that. But they said, yep, they would make 12 a par 4.
Oh,
Which I understand as well. I understand that big high elevated tee box.
yes.
Getting down water right.
Oh, yeah. You'd probably make that. Yeah,
I
That's probably
understand
my
that.
favorite hole on that golf course.
I love that hole. I understand that. It's a par 5 green though. That's the only thing.
Agreed.
Make the green a tiny bit bigger. And they go, yeah, small greens. And I'm like, and at first Stano's like, small greens. I'm like, yeah, actually they fucking are. Compared to
They're not that big. They're smallish.
they're compared to what that caliber of golf course could produce.
Yes.
Yeah, you consider them a tiny bit small. Yeah. And there's some massive greens, don't forget. But yeah, and this DP World Tour or DP Tour high up, I'd say, or some sort
Whoever
of
it was.
coordinator, whoever was
Representative.
sort of, yeah, we'll say that. Said, nah, you need to half the width of the fairways, and we need to add 30 onto each hole.
Jesus.
And we're like, what? And they go, yeah, it'd be a putting contest out here. And I'm like,
fair.
kind of makes sense. And I said to Michael, I'd love for this place to be tighter Because it is. It's wide as fuck.
Yeah.
You can hit it anywhere you want on each hole.
Yeah.
Within reason, of course, on some holes. But for the caliber of those players on the DEP tour and the Aussie tour, and for players like myself and
Got
Matt,
to take advantage of it.
you don't miss fairways.
No.
Like I didn't miss a fairway today. And actually, no, I did miss one. But you don't miss fairways. If you're hitting it good, you don't miss fairways.
No.
And they're always hitting it good. So they're always hitting into a 400-meter hole.
Yeah.
You hit a drive out there 290. You're hitting a flick gap wedge in.
Yeah, right.
Of course, and it made so much sense and it put in perspective of how good some of those players are, and it put into perspective of both how good Matt and myself are, but how much work we've also got to do. So it was sort of like eye opening a bit as well to think that that sort of coordinator. Right. And then I also thought, I'm like, I don't buy it. Make these plays tighter.
Yeah,
and then I think it's. Then I think the golf course would be ready. Making it longer from the black, I don't quite agree with, just because I've watched a lot of DP golf before and they don't have every single par 480 yards.
No.
They don't. They have their 440 yards, 420 yards, 390 yards, 360 yards, and then they have their like 510 yard par 4, which would be 12.
Yeah.
But other than that, the golf course would be hard, and it is hard off the blacks. Like 17 it would be a 220 yard hole.
Yeah.
I bet you haven't played 7 from the tips. 7's a short one, 130.
The par 3.
Par 3?
Yeah.
Next to the range?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the tee box that's 185?
No.
Imagine hitting 4 on from there.
We've played it off the blacks, I believe.
Yeah, no, there's a tee box back.
But you've shown me that tee box.
It's an extra 20.
Yeah.
So imagine playing that hole from 190.
Yeah, no.
So they would said put the back there. They would say even said with the current black tees on 9, one around the water.
Yeah.
Make that a par 4 unless you build a tee box 40 back. I'm like, don't agree with that one. Because, like, thin the fairway, definitely. Because it brings bunkers and water into play.
See, and okay, so.
But it was this crazy, like, wow. Like, there's, like, I've watched, I'm like, obviously I'm not questioning their authority nor their vision to see how a golf course is going to play and how good the caliber of golfers would come to play and how they would approach this golf course. But I said to Michael, okay, take 30 feet off each side of the fairway and thin it in, and then maybe add a couple lengthy ones here and there. But other than that, you don't need to change it that much. It's not an easy golf course.
Yeah.
It's really not.
No.
But the current condition of it now, when it's firmer, when it's warm, it's a bit like fairways are quicker and it's wide.
It'll be a
Absolutely,
shootout. It'll be a shootout.
It's a putting contest.
So I'm listening to you talk about this and the requirements that the DP World Tour have sort of obviously told Heritage, right? And my mind keeps going back to the whole debate that I wanted to have it earlier when we first started the podcast about the ball rollback. Because it's the same arguments, right? Golf courses are too short. Players are shooting too low scores. They're hitting the ball too far. What's the point? What defense does a golf course have nowadays against these players who are hitting it 340, 360, 400, right?
On some cases,
in some cases, right? Hit a cart path, you never know, right?
Yeah.
And the answer is, if you can't create length, like in the case of Heritage, because there's going to be some places at Heritage St. John that you can't drop a tee box 40 back.
No, there's some holes where
because land is at a premium. Like,
well,
my golf club has sold land in the past.
Yeah, here's the thing. I said to Michael, I said, hang on, thinning fairways and lengthening rough
is a lot easier.
Is a lot better than building tee boxes and keeping it wide because they're going to figure out how to hit it further.
Correct.
That's all they're going to do. So how about instead of lengthening the hole, making it a 480 yard par 4 instead of 430 yard par 4? That's all well and good. They're just going to hit one extra club. Whoop-de fucking do.
But then create that scenario where they go, maybe it's not driver.
Exactly. Make them think. Put another pop bunker. Make a hazard. Put another pop bunker. Make it still 450, but they have to hit 2-iron.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they're hitting 2-iron 240 yards, and they've still got 200 in. They're still hitting 5-iron into this hole rather than go and drive a 9-iron or pitch and wedge.
Yeah, correct.
Or something like that. So I sort of thought, look, length is all well and good, but the best golf courses I've played, or the better golf courses I've played, you don't hit driver everywhere.
No.
It's not just a bomb it over this stuff. And like that's why I sort of thought, well, hang on. Every sandbelt isn't long.
No,
like you can make Kingston Heath long. You can. There's tee boxes that they can make, or that are a bit longer. There's holes that they turn into par 4s and stuff like that. Absolutely, you can create length somehow or difficulty. But the great thing about sand belts and the reason why they're so hard is because you're hitting 5-iron, 4-iron off some tees. The bunkering is unbelievable and the greens are fucked. And especially when they're rolling at 13 like concrete.
Yeah, forget it.
Like that's why when all the pros from all the best players on the planet come to sand belts, they're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, right.
They come to sand belts and go, whoa, this is different. I hit driver once today instead of 9 times.
You want to talk about
It's crazy.
the length of golf courses, and the prime example is the old course at St Andrews, right?
Yeah.
The year Tiger won it, I think in 06, I don't think he hit driver once.
No,
and he didn't find himself in a bunker.
No. Just smart golf.
Right, just hit 3-iron on every tee box.
Yeah.
Put it here, put
Reduced
it there,
it.
put it here,
Yeah.
put it there,
Yeah.
put it here, put it there.
That's all placement.
Green in reg, 2-putt par.
Yeah.
Green in reg, 2-putt, whatever.
Basically, all I'm saying with the topic was it was really crazy to see the different perspective of someone coming to this sort of golf course that we would consider a difficult golf course, and he goes, these players would eat this.
100% they would eat it.
Crazy. It was
I'm now trying to put myself in the shoes of one of the representatives.
Yeah, I'm trying to as well.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think I might have, probably not, but I think I might have come onto something. From their perspective, they're probably thinking, how do we get eyes on this?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What does everybody who's entry-level golf, like who's at that entry-level stage of golf, like to do? Hit the ball far. Hit it as far as they can. Swing as hard as they can with the biggest club, the biggest face, the biggest head, and try and hit it as far as they can. Now try and tell old mate who's at the range smacking driver, swinging out of his shoes, come and watch these guys do it, and they're landing it on dinner plates.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I think they're after. They're after trying to appeal to all, categories of golf fan, right? Whilst also making it enough of a challenge for the boys so that they're not coming out to these golf courses like Heritage or wherever else it might be.
Yeah.
Because, that's the next step is to include more golf courses into the tour.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Because everyone's getting sick and tired of the same fucking repetition every year. We're playing this week here in Houston, then we're going to go to Texas here.
And it's the same thing. They just bomb driver, flick wedge, bomb driver, flick wedge.
Correct.
And it's like that's
So they're probably
probably what he thought. That's exactly probably what he thought of Heritage. He goes, they're just going to bomb driver everywhere.
Yeah, and flick a wedge.
Gonna flick a wedge in.
Yeah.
Which makes so much sense. He either goes add 40 onto each.
You've got to
hole.
make it harder somehow.
Yeah. So that's why I said to Michael, absolutely. If you went with this place, it all of a sudden just makes it longer because it's like, fuck, I cannot miss the fairway here because I'm going to be hitting 5-iron out of cabbage instead of hitting 7-iron, a full 7-iron, or 6-iron or something like that.
Just coming out of Clubbies, right? The 3 weeks leading into Clubbies, we were shitting ourselves, right? Because all of a sudden, rough at Heidelberg is ankle high.
He's rough.
Is rough.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, me and SGM are looking at each other going, fuck, I hope they cut this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Right? And we're amateur golfers. We play off 6 and 10 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to miss fairways. We're going to find ourselves in the rough.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure the conditions are favorable to us.
Exactly.
Right? But even still, I had some shots yesterday, or Sunday rather. Ball was sitting.
Yeah.
Half the ball was invisible. Like it's not sitting up on a nice fairway. Like I'm off in the rough and it's buried. And that was enough of a challenge. And that was only that much rough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you put these guys in scenarios where it's similar to what they'd experience in a major, tight fairways, thick, rough, hazards everywhere. Yeah, of course. Any golf course could host a fucking event.
Yeah, within
It's just, but I'm baffled like you are, where they just turn around and go, too short.
This plays too easy.
Too short.
It's like, whoa. And with the current state it's in, I agree.
Yeah.
I actually do agree.
Yeah.
Because it's catered to the members
What do
golf
they
course.
say-
The rough is short. It's not the rough is short, the fairways are very wide. The greens aren't fucking concrete rolling at 13. Like it's a very playable golf course. And like I turned like this morning, or like we're playing from the tips, I turned like 4 under through the first 9 holes and missed a real short birdie putt at one stage, just sort of cruising. And like I'm not at the level of the DP World Tour players, hopefully not yet anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm not at their level yet. But I sort of found, okay, that was pretty cruisy. Ball's gone a bit further, blah, blah, blah. It's a bit easier to hit in. There's not too much wind. But I'm sort of thinking, if we really thinned out this golf course, and put it into a bit more unfavorable conditions, sort of like you see in August, or start of June or something
Yeah.
like that, sort of like choppy weather where the ball doesn't go far. It's and then quicken up the greens again.
Yeah.
Make it windy or something like that. It's a different golf course. It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. And I really want to have a talk to that. Not have a talk. I really want to pick that DP word to a representative's brain about this. I really want to
Just
ask
why? Why is it
why is it like that? Like I'm really curious because I'm not questioning it.
No.
Of course they
know what they're doing a lot more
They
than
know
what
what
we
they're
do.
doing, what I do, of course, especially about a golf course, because they've experienced that with
Yeah.
the golf course that they currently play. It's just it just baffled me. I thought
Absolutely.
and I agree
And
with a
here's
lot
the
of
thing,
it. Though. I
right?
do agree with a lot of it.
This is heritage, St. John. Like this is a really reputable,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Challenging golf course
Yeah.
that's hosted major events in the past.
Yeah.
And they're now looking at the second biggest tour in the world
Yeah.
hosting an event or even like a local
something,
event.
or
Just
something.
about having a sanctioned event at this venue just makes me think like we're both members at local golf clubs, all right? And you asked the question before, and it's going to lead me into questions from the second cut. What would Rory shoot around Heritage St. John?
Oh,
Fair enough,
They would,
but like-
they would eat it.
They'd eat it.
It would just be.
What would he shoot around Rosanna?
Not even that. It's like saying, oh,
Do you know what I mean? Like, 'cause
it's like saying, oh, they'll shoot 59 there. Not necessarily.
No.
It's a different golf course. They're considered probably. Like
How easy would he make it look though? Because that's probably the easier question to answer because there are levels to this shit when it comes to golf courses. There are your PKs and your Royal Melbournes and your Kingston Heats, and then you've got your Heritage St. John's and all those the next tier down, and then the next tier down, and the next tier down. And unfortunately, as much as we like to hype up our own golf clubs, we're not championship golf courses. Right? For whatever reason they are. We're at great golf clubs.
Yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from
the
them.
golf clubs are
great
fantastic.
golf clubs that have got good courses in great conditions majority of the time. But do they compete with the next tier above? Probably not.
No, they can't because there's length and prestige and
There's a whole lot,
difficulty.
a bunch of factors.
There's so many factors to.
So it's the age old question of what does Tiger, what does Rory, what does Phil shoot around your local?
Yeah, well,
track.
that's the thing. That's like you see Bryson. Bryson did a thing like this.
Yeah.
He went around to just one of the local golf courses and tried to break the course record and played very well and shot only 65. And they're like, and I've heard this a lot from members at not only our golf club but other golf clubs going, oh, they'd come here and shoot fucking 56, like shit like that. It's like not necessarily. Like
If you've never seen it before,
not necessarily. Like, yes, the golf courses will play easier in respects, but you still got to get the fucking thing in the hole. Like, if they don't have the greatest
And-
hot putting days, they might only shoot 6 or 7 or 8 or something
that
like that.
comment of, Tiger would have 56 round here is coming from a member who's probably been there for a long time, who knows the intricacies of that golf course.
Yeah.
Who knows that no matter where they are standing on the 13th green, if I've got this putt, it breaks this much.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Tiger doesn't know that.
No. It's also
If you gave Tiger a week, all right, if you gave Tiger a week at Rosanna, go and practice, play as much as you bloody well want, and then the round that counts is on Saturday morning at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Then he'd probably go and shoot the lights out because he's had a week to figure it out.
They would all go out and shoot a great number, mid to low 60s. Some of
then
them might
some.
not have the greatest of days because there is still parts of golf courses such as Rosanna and Heidelberg that you can get into the tiniest bit of trouble.
Absolutely.
Especially for those caliber. And even for that caliber of golfer, they can still hit a wayward tee shot that puts them out of place.
And this is what circles back perfectly to the argument that we had before. Each golf course presents its own challenges and its own difficulties
Absolutely
in its
does.
own certain way.
Absolutely does.
So for this bloke to turn around and say Heritage St. John needs 40 yards more length on each tee box, and the fairways need to go like you said before, is it's
unreal.
It's unreal to
I
think.
loved it. It was crazy.
But it's also the silver lining in the whole golf ball debate that we mentioned before that golf courses ultimately hold the most power
yeah, of course they do.
because they could change like that.
Yeah. Well, you see, it's crazy. Like I think if they made Heritage, for example, on a wetter in the wetter months or the less advantaged months, I'd say, you can always make a golf course firmer and quicker.
Absolutely.
Within reason, of course. Even when the wetter of months, even in the start of August,
Yeah.
they can still firm it up and quicken it up.
Yeah.
They can definitely can.
There's certain ways.
And make the fairways maybe a bit softer. Like that's always a way with watering them and fertilizing and growing the grass out a little bit and then clipping it on the day and making it softer. So there's not enough rollout, but the greens are still firm and quick. And thin it out, lengthen the rough. All of a sudden, it's a different golf course.
Absolutely.
And like, there's a lot of work to make that golf course thinner.
Yeah.
Because once again, they need Nicholas to actually sign that off to approve it to change his golf course. And so there's a bunch of other crap that they have to do in order to get to that spot. But currently, as it stands, like I agree. Like some of those DP World Tour players, they would eat it alive.
100%.
It'd just be a snack.
Yeah.
And it would be. It would be a putting contest. Whoever rolled in the most putts wins.
There's so many factors
It's
that
just
go
crazy.
into playing
I was
well
like,
at a golf course.
I was like, speaking to Michael, going, whoa, like, and even Steno, he goes longer, and he swings it, he cruises at 124 top head speed,
so he can hit it.
and smokes it, man.
Yeah,
smokes
smokes
it, right? And he's even like longer. What do you mean longer?
Yeah.
Like you have your long par fours or longer par fours, like 420 plus meters or 410 plus meters, which are 450 yard par fours, which is considered a longer par four. But for those players, not long enough.
I guess that what the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour are probably looking for is these brand new golf courses that haven't been built yet to be 650 yard par fives, or have an option to, it'd be like Paynes Valley. Tiger went and designed Paynes Valley. It was open a few years ago. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's got your everyday tee boxes for your, scratch to 35 handicapper. And then it's got your Tiger tees, which are 55 meters back.
Here's the difference. With Paynes Valley, it's wide.
Yeah.
Right. So length is its defense, and undulation and green complex, it's the defense, but it's wide. Whereas at Heritage, it's wide now. Like I agree with him. I agree with that representative. I'm like, absolutely, it is wide.
Yeah.
You can,
but it's short as well.
But for those caliber of players that are flying at 320 yards,
it's short.
It's short. Absolutely. Hitting into a 450 yard par four, they're going driver and flicking a gap wedge in.
Yeah.
It's piss.
Yeah.
Right. And I agreed with him. So making it a little bit longer, but I'd love it. I'd love to see how different the golf course
Just
would play.
bowling alley fairways.
Because there's some holes out there that you hit in driver and could sort of miss it, 30 either side of your starting line. Instead, you've got to hit 2-iron off that hole or something like that to get it in play. And then all of a sudden, you've got 5-iron, 4-iron in.
There's also a lot of areas at Heritage, and this is the last thing I'll say about this. There's a lot of areas at St. John where if you do miss a fairway, you're really not in that much trouble.
No.
And that's probably the other thing this guy's saying is that they're just going to bomb it.
Yeah.
Because remember a few years ago, Bryson got into a lot of trouble because he was just bombing drivers into the crowd. Like intentionally.
At Wingfoot, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or whatever. It might have even been the next year because he wasn't yelling 4 as well. That was a massive argument as well. Yeah. So he was just bombing driver into the crowd. Someone will find it and I'll have a decent lie.
Yeah. Well, they'll always find a way.
And I'm going to have 40 meters in, whereas they're going to have 190 because they're hitting 2-iron or 4-iron off the tee.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'd rather be 150 meters closer with a wedge in my hand compared to back there on the fairway. So what? I'm in the rough. Big whoop.
Yeah. It's just crazy. It was
Oh yeah,
I just love to pick his brain.
That's so
like I said, this little rant, if you call it, is not a dig at it. It's just I was still like just taken back a little bit, going, this is a tough golf course. It's gettable on its day, definitely, even off the blacks. But like it was really crazy to think.
Very crazy, very interesting. All right, we are running fastly out of time.
Oh well.
So, questions from the second card. Right, I sort of made one up a little bit as we were going in the previous.
I like one.
You like yours? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, right.
Go.
If your golf clubs could talk, what's the most embarrassing thing they would say about you?
Oh, Jesus. If my golf clubs could talk.
If your golf clubs just turned around and said, hey, Drags, what do you reckon they'd say about you? About your golf game? You and your golf game?
I don't think it'd be embarrassing. I think they'd just take the piss out of me. Like, if my golf clubs could talk, if my wedges could talk, right, the first thing they'd say, right,
what the fuck?
Is you practice that much and you hit it this poorly? Really? Come on. Have a good hard look at yourself, brother.
Oh, that's the best.
My putter, honestly, would turn to me and say, I'm too good.
too good to sit here with
to
you.
rest in your hands. Dead on.
I'm too good of a punter to be sitting here with you.
I'd go one step further. My golf balls are probably thinking, "Don't worry, boys. In a couple of minutes, we'll be getting hit by somebody else." There's every chance that we'll start the round being played by me, but we'll finish the day off getting played by somebody else because I'll
That's the
hit it into a
best.
bush and not find it.
I was actually saying earlier, I mentioned it where you were like getting ready. I said, asked her the question, like not asked her, but said, this is my question. And she's like, oh, that's a good one. And she goes, what would they say about you? I'm like,
That is a great question.
I'm like, hits it all right, shit haircut, but like hits it okay, shit haircut, like like shit like that.
Probably say this bloke swings it like shit, but at least we get a nice ride in an MGI.
Yeah. At least he's not fucking pulling.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's the best. That's actually funny, as. That lived up to everything I thought it would.
My driver would turn around and say, "I can't wait till he puts me on Marketplace."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Mine would be like, at least our grips are on.
Yeah. Daniel Ream, that's for you, mate.
Rhythm.
All right, my question for you is, would you rather play a golf course made up of 18 par 5s or 18 par 3s?
18 par 5s.
Doesn't matter. 18 par 5s?
Yeah.
100%?
100%. That's
Yeah?
easy.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd shoot over par on the 18 par 3s.
You reckon?
Yeah. Not by much, but I would.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I reckon I could shoot 8 and a 9 under on a par 5 golf course.
Yeah, fair.
It
Okay.
depends on what par 5s, of course. If they're fucked par 5s and 660 yards, then different story. But yeah,
Okay.
18
Yeah,
par
all right.
5s
Well,
for sure.
It'd be a mixture of different par
Yeah.
5s of different lengths and stuff.
Yeah, of
so
course.
they're all par 5s, but you're going to get
Yeah.
that 650 meter one.
I don't care. It's
Yeah?
par 5s.
Par 5s,
Yeah.
full swings.
100%.
Yeah, cool.
Full swings. Like even a 500 meter par 5 is like I can still go drive a 2-iron or three wood into that and still make 4, make birdie. Whereas if there's a
Wow.
185 meter,
I can't believe you answered that quickly.
that's
A piece of piss.
every time.
Yeah, okay.
Two,
All right,
like
interesting.
whereas a 210 meter par 3, I'm thinking, fuck. Like whereas if I got it, here's the weird thing. On a 210 meter par 3, we're
Yeah.
kind of like, fuck. This is tough. This is long. It's going to be tough to even just hit the green.
Yeah.
Like depending on what the green is. But it's going to be tough just to hit the green, let alone make
I know
par.
where you're going with this.
Whereas going 210 meters into a par 5, I'm thinking, sweet, I just knock it somewhere up there, make up an F on my birdie and move on. Whereas on the par 3, I'm like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's fucking weird like
Yeah.
that, isn't it? Like,
And
it's
you know
fucking
what?
Weird.
We were actually discussing that in Clubbies, I think last week, in the first couple of rounds. And I said the same thing. I'm like, we look at 13 is by far and away the hardest par 3 at Heidelberg. It's straight up the hill. From the blacks, it plays like 185.
Yeah.
Right? It's a long hole,
yeah.
especially when the pin's right at the back.
Yeah.
And I said the same thing. Oh, one of the boys said the same thing. He goes, we're thinking about it wrong. You need to just change your mindset and just go, right, knock it up there somewhere close if you can, right? Try and make up and down. You're not going to make you're very rarely going to make birdies on that hole.
You got to make bogey more often.
You got to stripe a 4-iron and drain a putt
Yeah.
to make birdie, right? And off the whites, you're still trying to stripe a 6-iron up the hill and make a putt.
Yeah.
And there's that vacuum of a bunker on the right hand side,
Yeah, that attracts balls.
right?
Yeah.
So it's just 100%. It's the same mentality.
Yeah, it's
Approach
just
it differently.
It's just a weird one. I'm sort of I'll stand on, like even today on 17 at Heritage. It's like it's 200 and 205, maybe more from the back.
Yep.
And even like, and that's actually what the DP Wood Tour guy said. He goes, your strongest hole is 17. It's a 200.
Trying to picture 17.
It's like on the driveway as you drive in. It's just on the left.
Yep.
Yeah. So from the back there, it's about like from the tippy tops of that to like the middle, maybe to the sort of further towards the back of the green. It's about 230 yards.
Yeah.
225 yards,
Yeah.
which is a long par 3.
Absolutely.
The general par 3 on a PGA Tour event would be anywhere from 180 yards to 200.
Yeah.
Sort of around there. So yeah, he said that's the strongest hole.
There you go.
And there's bunkering everywhere, tough green,
Far out.
long. And he goes, this one, that's a par 3. He goes, that's a golf hole.
Yeah, right.
He goes, everything else is birdie. And we're like, fuck him, what? Anyway, so.
There you go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, hang on. Before we go anywhere, a little bit of an announcement.
Oh, God.
you and I, Marcus and Remy.
Oh, I do have an announcement.
Okay.
I do have it. Yeah, go. Yeah,
Okay, am I going first?
yeah, you go first.
All right. So I'm scared.
Yeah,
now.
you should be.
Oh, shit. You, myself, Marcus, and Daniel Rim, who's also been on this podcast, next Monday, the 2nd of December, we are making a trip out to Peninsula Kingswood. We're playing the North Course.
Here we are.
I'm so excited.
Dude, that place, Disneyland.
So keep an eye out. I think we're teeing off at 2 in the afternoon.
Beautiful.
But we're thinking about getting there the day before.
Oh, no, I'm going there, the Savo.
Yeah, all right. So you'll be there for about a week.
Yeah, I'll be there for about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, sweet. But no, we're going to have a be It's going to be
It's
fun.
going to be unbelievable.
It's fun. Go for it. You had an announcement?
So you have no idea. Like you've been hyped up by us.
Yeah, of course.
But it's still can't hype it up enough.
Okay.
It's like what I said to Raptor and David about the Aussie.
Yeah,
you
of
can't
course.
hype it up enough.
Yeah,
for how
okay.
good it is. Anyway, so your jaw will hit the floor.
Okay. I'm excited.
Has it clicked yet that your mum hasn't mentioned she's played at PK?
Oh, really? Has she? When did she play out there?
She never was.
Oh, she never was?
No.
Right.
We just made you think that she was going to play before you.
That's such a shit move. That's such a shit move.
She never was.
You know what? I thought something was up because I mentioned it to her. I'm like, so you never told me this? And she's like, oh, really? Did I win that? Did I? And I'm like, yeah.
But you know what? You know what's perfect about that? That we told you that she doesn't know either because she's away.
Yeah.
So that would have been perfect.
Yeah, it was. Honestly, it was because I rang her like when she got back from her Europe trip. And I'm like, oh, so yeah, Marcus told me that you're playing at Peninsula Kingswood. She's like, oh, am I?
No.
And I'm like,
She never
yeah,
was, dude.
you won the comp at Latrobe a few weeks ago. She's like, did I win that?
Yeah, she was never playing, dude.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, she was never playing, man.
You know what? It was
You'd
that well
accepted it.
done. It was that well done. I'd learned to live with it. I'd learned to live with the
just
fact that
accepted it.
it was, that's a thing now. It's happened.
Nah.
I'm okay with it.
Mate, I was actually just texting Marcus, like literally as you started. You know how I was texting?
Yeah.
I asked him, should I tell Drags tonight? And he goes, yes. So yeah, you're
No,
like
well
we
done.
mentioned when he was on here the other week that Drags' mum was actually playing Pico before him, and it was a complete gag. She never was, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
And at her expense, we took the piss out of you for it. But yeah, she never was.
I'm sure she'll let it slide.
How do you feel?
I don't know how to feel right now. I think because I was so okay with it. If you'd have told me 3 weeks ago, I'd have been like, you pricks.
Yeah.
Right? But now I'm just like, oh, well.
Oh fuck.
You probably should have told me 3 weeks ago.
I know we should have done it last week because me and Raptor.
You should have honestly done it the next week.
We actually spoke about it and we're like, fuck, we've let it marinate.
Yeah, see, the thing was, I'm totally fine with it. Like, even if it was true, I'm
damn.
totally okay with it. Because now we've got our tea time. Like, I'm going. I
Yeah,
don't
you're
give a
going.
shit.
You're going.
I'm going. If Marcus had told me I can't get you on for another year, but I can get your mum on,
Yeah.
I would be like, fuck, what? Do you know what I mean?
But no, I'm relieved at the fact that we did it so well.
Yeah, no, you did. You did very
had
well.
it. We
Did
had
very
it.
well.
We had it on.
Absolutely, you did.
Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of the Gold Jacket, Green Jacket podcast. If you are listening on Spotify, be sure to head over to the YouTube, like and subscribe the video over there. If you're listening, yeah, I know dinner's cooking.
I can smell that naan bread. Is that?
Yeah, I think so. If you're listening, if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to head over to Spotify. Follow us over there. Give us a 5-star review if you can. Head over to our TikTok and our Instagram, our socials, and be sure to follow us there as well. There's going to be plenty of updates. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of stories from PK in a couple of weeks.
There will be. We'll do plenty of ace cams and stuff like that, and jump onto our socials, our individual socials as well,
Yep.
because our links are in our bios for the longest day. So
If you
please, even if it's just $10, we don't care.
Correct. If you have any dramas trying to donate to the longest day,
Yeah.
please let us know. We have experienced a couple of times people are struggling to access our links. We are getting in contact with the longest day themselves, the Cancer Council, to figure it out. So hopefully all is fixed by the time you're hearing this. However, our links are going to be in the description down below. Be sure to head down there and donate whatever you can. We really do appreciate it. Enjoy your week. Hit them very, very well. We'll see you very soon. Cheers.